The Minister of Finance and asks, does he stand by his statement, quote, if you know which websites to go to, you can get access to high-quality advice, end quote?
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Finance, yes, because under the open government style of this administration, huge amounts of high-quality public advice is placed on government websites.
Grant Robertson.
How far has he taken this government by Google approach? For instance, has he suggested to John Key that he do a Google search for the words economic and plan in the absence of any such plan?
I apologise to the member, but I couldn't hear the member's question. I'd ask the government backbenchers to be a little more reasonable, please. If Grant Robertson would please repeat his question.
How far has he taken this government by Google approach? For instance, has he suggested to John Key that he do a Google search for the words economic and plan in the absence of one from the government?
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, there is lots of good material on the website, albeit I notice on the website under Labour policy there is absolutely nothing.
Speaker.
Grant Robertson.
Can he confirm that the government's mining policy was the result of Jerry Brownlee Googling the phrases big hole in the ground and when to stop digging?
Mr Speaker,
Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, the Minister for Economic Development's plan for growing the mining and petroleum industry is of huge importance, and if you actually look at the confidence in that sector, I'm confident he's going to deliver extra economic activity and growth.
Chris Tremaine.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. What advice has the Minister of Finance received on the growth in public spending on policy advice in recent years, and how does it compare with growth in the economy?
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, the advice is that government spending on policy advice grew by more than 70% in the preceding 6 years, whereas growth in the tradable sector over those same 6 years was zero, and the overall economy grew by, in real terms, just 12%. This growth in Wellington bureaucracy is not sustainable and is the reason why the Minister of Finance and the Minister for Regulatory Reform and the Minister of State Services has announced a review of that expenditure to ensure that we put the focus on frontline services.
Grant Robertson.
Can he confirm that Paula Bennett's policy call for people to step up is based on a visit to the website of the movie Step Up, which is described as being, quote, cliched, full of quite frankly terrible dialogue and twists you can see a mile off?
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, what I can confirm about the Minister of Social Services is that very popular policies that she has initiated to help get New Zealanders through the worst recession since the Great Depression is having a hugely positive impact. And any constituency MP would know that programs, whether it be programs like Fresh Start or a large number of others, are paying handsome dividends.
Grant Robertson.
Is he concerned that there is a risk that seeking policy advice on the internet may lead to the government losing its entire budget to the son of a deposed Nigerian prince?
Mr Speaker, I can assure the member opposite that we will not be following the absolutely blank page of policy advice that is on the New Zealand Labour Party's website.
I think that brings to a close questions for oral answer. I call on